That's our first round of 12, and round of 12 means the winner qualifies for next weekend for the round of 8, where Happy is waiting, Focus is waiting, Sock and Foggy, and the loser is out. There's no fallback net at the play-in stage, because playoffs are not for losers. That's what it is. Prior to the break, I gave a little praise to Colorful already, and Remo, believe it or not, I want to double down on the praise. Because we invited Colorful, and this man said, yep, I'm playing. Gladly I will play, but you don't have to pay me. Whatever I win in the W3Champions finals, donate it to W3Champions.
What a legend.
Right? Lovely.
Pretty nice, because we got to pay for all those servers, increasingly so. There's so many servers now. I don't even... Do you know the exact number, Neil? I'm sure you do. How many servers is that we have to get paid for?
By now.
30?
They removed one, I think. I think it's 26 or 27.
Mm-hmm.
And now...
It does get expensive, just so every region can play with every region, which I believe is now possible.
And the Chinese servers are especially expensive, since there has to be some proxy servers set up and yada, yada, yada. So a cool move by Colorful to do that. And now we're loading in after a little bit of a rehost. I hope everything is fine now. Looks like it. Who has the edge between the two? It's really hard to say. We've seen quite a bit of Colorful. Colorful in AWL was the first Night Elf in 2022 who took a series off of Lin in this very matchup. But Fly is no joke. So, boys, have fun with this Night Elf vs. Orc.
Thank you, thank you. Yeah, at first when we started on Amazonia, I was like, there is no way this is happening right now, Fly. There's no way you let this happen. But no, Northern Isles it is. Fly to the bottom left, and the blue and the yellow in the upper right. It is Colorful. And again, like me and Neil were just saying, it's a extremely, extremely high-level match here, Remo Demo Man.
Question was, what would we be seeing? You mentioned Happy earlier. He's still been playing fast headhunters even against Night Elf when he was off racing as Orc, but Fly, he is a master of the blade. A master is going to be sticking with that old school standard build. Just looking at this matchup on paper, I would say Colorful perhaps a bit stronger at the moment, and also perhaps a bit stronger in the matchup in general, Orc versus Night Elf. Mm-hmm. Of course, we all know how difficult this matchup can be for Orc in terms of room for error. There's almost none. There's no margin for error at all. If you oftentimes see these games, that's why Lin makes it look so amazing, because he plays it oftentimes completely perfect all the way through. But just to finish my point real quick, yeah, I would say normally in completely even setting, I would favor Colorful here. But looking at the maps, I feel like these are greatly Orc favored maps, aren't they? Echo Isles, super Orc favored normally. Northern Isles, also pretty Orc favored. Concealed Hill, the last one, you can make an argument for one of the two, but I would say if the Orc plays it perfectly, also Orc favored. So, from the map pool, I would say this is looking very good for Fly.
Yeah, of the standard maps, I would say, even though our map pool is much bigger in W3Champions Finals, but like the normal standard 7 maps, those are probably the 3 best. Like Concealed Hill, you mentioned, is probably the most even, but even that feels pretty comfortable. You can go for the early Bestiary, you get the early Wind Rider, and Concealed Hill, the mid-game, tends to not be that tricky. And then Echo Isles and Northern Isles have typically been the most vetoed maps, I feel like, for Night Elf in this matchup in the past. So interesting. And definitely going to be favoring Fly for sure. I'd agree with you.
I gotta interrupt you guys because we got 10 gifted subs by Karubik and a €10 donation by Just Nikos. You guys are awesome! Less than 3, but Neo number 1. Tripkey gifting another sub. Lots of support. Thank you guys.
The Blade Bass was almost in time to steal that last hit, but since I didn't yoink the item, but he went for the build here, which is normally was very strong for a long time. Wait. The Treant got the last hit. Oh, yeah. Big mistake. He was almost able to prevent level 2 keep, which is the main purpose of this build. Early shop, pick up the item, get one item on your Flesh Eater, and then run across the map. And this is very bad. This might mean that the Grunt is even dead. Oh, Fly. What could have been a great early game, just that one single last hit messes it all up.
And this goes to show your point earlier. You said, you know, if you make one little mistake, you know, or if you do everything perfectly like Lin does, then that could be what the game teeters on. Deny. Nicely done from Fly, as expected. I feel like Fly could have been a little bit more precise. If he built his shop a little bit more aggressive, he would have had that speed scroll earlier.
true.
Maybe if he skipped that circlet, he could have gotten that last hit guarantee with a couple of optimizations. Of course, that shot being aggressive, you do tend to lose it to the first 2 Huntresses, but still, that level 2, we see the impact of it for Colorful, and the expansion, safe and sound coming up to the north. Doubt this is cancelable for Fly without Mirror Image.
Of which I hope to see a lot in this series. Mirror Image, probably my favorite spell. I was about to say of all time, but I'm not sure what I'm willing to commit to that statement, but certainly my favorite spell at the moment. Lin, again, I mention him, and I will be mentioning him a lot in this series, don't you guys worry. Has been playing a lot of Mirror Image. Lin has almost 100% of the time that I've been seeing him over the last few weeks, been playing the 1-1-1 build.
Yep.
1 in Crit, 1 in Windwalk, 1 in Mirror Image, and I like it a lot. Let's see if Fly does that as well.
It's so good because, you know, not only can you break out of the entangle, that's what it's generally used for, but it breaks acid bomb, it breaks dust of appearance, and it also is can be used for lightning shield. It can be used just to tank in general. It's so good for so many reasons. Much better than a level 2 Windwalk, a level 2 crit even, surprisingly. For now, Fly just creating chaos, as he so often does, but Colorful not really taking a ton of damage. Gets the item Ring of Regen from that expansion. And Tier 2 is done for Fly. Tier 2 is on the way for Colorful.
Fly not having a good time here so far. The read for Colorful is perfect. He knows the Blade Master is gone. What's he doing? Well, I guess he's creeping my Flesh Eater. I don't think he's going to get it, is he? Oh, no, he does get it. Last hit and item go towards the Blade. He's going to staff out. Another big benefit, by the way, on this map. Normally the Blade always gets the staff like we saw here on this map, because you can wake up the creeps and stuff, and the Keeper has to run. I feel a little bit sad for Fly that he sort of botched this early game. Because of the lost last hit, because of the lost grunt, this game could have looked a lot better for the Orc on one of the better maps.
Yeah, one thing we've been seeing recently from a lot of Orcs has been obviously very early War Mill, but not for the 0-2 armor upgrades like we've seen in the past. An early War Mill just for Berserkers, or not Berserkers, Headhunters, I should say, for 3 of them. And then you can push and you can purge and focus down the Huntresses, and it can be very, very strong. That, as well as pretty much every map that doesn't have a mercenary camp, going for an early Bestiary to go for 1-1-1, 1 Raider, 1 Windrider, 1 Kodo. That also with the piercing damage can be very, very strong against the Huntresses. So more than just Grunt Shaman have we seen recently from Orcs, but Fly seems to be keeping it old school, standard. I don't know what to call it at this point, but just going to go for the grunts with the upgrades.
Good thing from this opening for Fly was at least that the green camp here is going to be available to the Shadowhunter. It's going to give him free experience close to level 2, a bit more time to get more Shaman out, and then try to go for the natural perhaps. The expansion for Colorful is definitely quite early. The Late Master, however, in the meantime, was able to cancel it once, and the Telestaff has now come off cooldown, where he can also rejoin the rest of the army if needed. Huntress is going to force him away finally, but this was at least a minute bought, right?
Yeah.
Why is there 10 gold missing from the gold mine? That was the peon, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so. Very weird, very weird. Kind of annoying a little bit. If I was Colorful, I'd be pissed off. There's the Alchemist, though, showing his rage in a creep jack. 2 Shamans are already out, though, so nothing is going to come of this other than, of course, the delay on the Shadowhunter. Blade Master stole the heal scroll. Uh-oh, Fly. Okay, that would have been a classic play, but not going to lose the Blade to the creeps today, at least. Shadowhunter does get the experience there, almost level 2.
A player's forces are under attack.
Blade having a tough encounter there with the Gnolls. You know, Carson, the Warcraft 3 community and Twitch chat is always fascinated, I might say obsessed, with the question, what is the strongest race right now? What is the weakest race right now?
Right.
I think that's normally difficult question to answer. Last hit goes to the Shadowhunter. Invo Potion picked up, just barely saves him. Oh my goodness. Speed Scroll was also invested though. Heat Wave now available. Colorful still strong with level 3 on the Keeper. Can they disengage, please, so I can finish my point? Alright, real quick. You know what is clear though? Like, it's not clear what is the strongest and the weakest race, but what is clear is which race in Warcraft 3 has the best names, and that must go to the goblins. Because look at this alchemist, Niffy Gurglebeaker. I mean, I want to go to whatever department it is and change my name right now to Niffy Gurglebeaker.
I had the pleasure the other day when I was casting, I forget what it was, I think it was a weekly cup last week, of watching Slash's stream, and he had the German names on, and I was learning all about the German hero names, and those could be quite interesting as well, I found out. I don't remember a single one, but I definitely had fun trying to pronounce some of those.
Yeah, a lot of them are pretty easy to translate. There's a lot of barons in German as well. But yeah, anyways. Archers and hunts. Not a very hunters-heavy army here at all. Only 4 huntresses. And Colorful, looking strong in this game, was able to prevent creeping on the shadow, was able to prevent a counter expansion. And it was Colorful, what was it, like 2 weeks ago? The first Night Elf in forever to beat Lyn in this matchup, right? And Colorful again showing his chops. About to kill the Blade here, isn't he? Heal scroll committed. Is that enough? Not so sure. Ooh, acid bomb. Actually, no, the level up! Oh my god! The level up saved him at the last split second. But Colorful still in a good position here, thanks to his expo, of course.
Ridiculous play from Fly there, and in the meantime, the chaos created, he's actually managed to get a lot of kills with these grunts. Like, he's been purging and focusing huntresses. The grunts have been getting on the archers. The supply is still pretty much even, and with that blade being alive, it might be... Fly might be able to come back, possibly. He's losing a couple of grunts now. Does he still have shaman mana? He has one last purge, but okay, a couple of grunts gonna fall, and that's 40 against 50. And Colorful, all right, he's got a 1100 gold. Maybe it's gonna be difficult for Fly.
Yeah, I love the heavy upgrades here as well. Something some Night Elves will sometimes forget. He will not. 2-1 upgrades already. Second armor upgrade coming in. Pushing into upkeep. Lots of gold still left over. And if he manages to creep the merchant, pick up the scrolls, this game seems almost over already. Keeper. Cheeky. Actually was able to counter some healing and get out. Wow.
Yeah, and he got that very, very low HP grunt as well. And the Alchemist can go and start creeping himself now, and all Colorful has to do is pretty much macro and continuously scout for perhaps a counter expansion. He has a Wisp at the natural of Fly. Fly is going to really, really struggle. Short of really power creeping, getting a strong blade, and then just pure hero focus in the fights, it's going to be near impossible for Fly at this stage, I would have to say. Oh, Keeper. Gotta be careful. Lightning Shield to maybe damage the cloaked Keeper.
And he's gonna get away. No, not quite this time. Will be forced to TP out, but this was so much time bought, space created for the Alchemist, who's now level 3. Double Ring of Regen. I am always so happy when I see this. This is
Look at it.
AKA I don't need healing anymore.
Look at the regen. Okay, he's heal spraying right now, but look at that. It's I love Ring of Regen. It's my favorite item in the whole game. You were talking about your favorite abilities, your favorite hero names. Ring of Regen, love it so much.
How much natural healing does he have? Like, is this now 6 HP per second?
It's insane. Yeah, because he just got so much.
This is pretty crazy, dude.
Yeah. Big creep jack here. Blade desperately trying to get some more experience. Fly did get a mana stone, which is exactly what he needs. But this is 68 against 45. Fly attempting to expand now. So he needs to hold the door in the middle in this choke point if he wants to have any chance of having 2 base economy.
Trying to get the scrolls. Takes the 1 heal scroll, but the rest goes to Colorful. 1 heal scroll of his own. And the protection. That is a lot of hunts and archers, if you ask me. Fly, in the meantime, struggling to claw his way to 50 supply. He's got 1 tower here standing, but no cement upgrade. Only now started, and, well... 1A2, A3A! Might be enough here.
Yeah, protection scroll actually lands on everything, and as Hitman put it, that is the most difficult part of playing Night Elf, is landing a protection scroll on every unit. Blade in the back, the most difficult part of playing Orc is, of course, getting 60 critical strikes in a row to, even up the banter there, but the Blade is not going to get much done thanks to this entangle. Hero focus, maybe, is a potential play.
Cloak of Shadows being used here as well. And Colorful is showing a great survivalist mindset, I almost want to say. Every little thing that he can use, he is using on map 1. Shadow Meld now to minimize the damage on the hunts. The archers take out the serpent wards. Blade Master too low to re-engage. The Keeper now once again healthy. Gonna get level 4 here momentarily. Colorful. Not sure if he lost anything. He certainly didn't lose much. And he wins map 1.
Very convincingly so, right? That was, of course, the early game that went a little sideways for Fly. Otherwise, I think he didn't play a bad game necessarily. He had some good timings down. The fights looked good, but from minute 2.5 on, he had to catch up, and he was never able to.
Yeah, it all comes down to, like, you know, Remo pointed this out as well perfectly before the game. It's just like one small thing in the early game, and it all just snowballs from there in one player's favor. Either the Orc is going to get a huge hero level advantage, going to deny that expansion and at least be on even economy for long enough, or the Night Elf is going to get that expansion up for free and, you know, be able to get level 3 Keeper no problem, and just, you know, translate that into mass aggression. And Colorful ended that game with 1,252 gold, so he was certainly in a strong position.
Yeah, when Lin is always finding the time to counter expand and Focus is always somehow finding the time to prevent the Entangled Goldmine, that was not the case for Fly. He's usually a guy who comes through the fights, and that wasn't the case here. But he's in the next map. He still has the chance to bounce back if he has a better early game here. And gonna move on to Echo Isles, which is the last War3Champions finals with this version of Echo Isles, as we of course updated it in the ladder to Echo Isles 2. And Carson, you love it, right?
Oh yeah, I love the new maps, Neo.
Remo, I know we have a little bit of a feud going on when it comes to Echo Isles, right? You hate the old Echo Isles. What's your feelings towards Echo Isles 2?
Well, the second version, Echo Isles 2.0, is certainly better in every regard. No stupid dead ends anymore. No stupid stalemates anymore, because there's a 5th gold mine. There's also a little bit more green creep camps. So everything about it is better. Does that make it a good map?
Yes.
I'm not sure about that yet, but certainly it is a lot better. And speaking of the map and speaking of Echo Isles, like, this has to be the 1-1 now for Fly. Like, this map is stupidly Orc favored. If Fly doesn't win here, he truly is hopeless against Night Elf at the moment, apparently. And also brings us to a question of, might it be Talons? We don't see him much anymore nowadays.
I'd love that.
But this is a possibility on this map.
I'd love to see that.
And Colorful likes to play them, right? Like on Last Refuge, he plays them pretty much every single time. I think I've seen this from him here as well. But yeah, he's a good talent player. I would love to go old school when we have an old school player like Fly in. Why not? Colorful, will he move on to the round of 8 with a clean 2-0? Or will Fly bounce back and make this the first 3-mapper of the tournament? Ladies and gentlemen, you're about to witness.
And I know I said it, but I didn't think he was going to do it. I thought he was going to play his Keeper standard and, you know, go by what can be trusted. But no, he's going to be playing Demon Hunter.
Yep.
Almost 99%, because we see the Ancient of War creep over at the Merchant. This is normally always done with a Demon Hunter or with a Warden in other matchups. So yeah, indeed, Demon Hunter and Talons it will be.
Yeah, and if it was Lalaya, I would say there's, you know, maybe a 40% chance here for this to be a Warden. This was like the first sort of map we saw, and Terranistan back in the day as well, I suppose, where Warden was played against Orc. But yeah, most likely Demon Hunter, which I'm happy to see. I'm happy to see some variety. And I do like seeing... What do we have? Oh my god.
Oh, the perfect counter for Fly. He's going for a fast shop delayed barracks. He's going to do Peon Scout as well, so he's going to figure out this is happening, and he's going to be able to be aggressive with the Blade Master. Oh my god, this seems like a 20% win rate skewing already just because of the build.
But one thing, though, about this, if it is perfectly crept, at least in the past, Orc actually can't really do anything about it. If the Lightning Shield is perfectly on time and the Night Elf creeps it perfectly, the Orc at most can get, I think, one small last hit. But now, with the peon doing the repair trick where you're able to actually pull and you know, de-aggro the creeps and stuff, Fly might be able to do something tricky to make it a little bit annoying for Colorful, and then he'll be able to buy himself enough time for the speed scroll to make it over. But I know, because I used to do this build order against Night Elves to try and deny this, and even at my 1800 MMR, Night Elves would still creep it before I could get there. So we'll see how well Colorful can get this done.
Oh, this is a huge moment. He steals the Shadow Priest. It's already a win. Trying to steal the last hit as well. He gets the Kobold. Oh my god. Fly is off to the races here on map number 2. Blade Master pops a speed scroll and the Windwalk. In he goes. This way he has maximum speed. Or the highest that he can have anyways. Talisman of Evasion, not great for the Demon Hunter. Might be good for a Beastmaster later on.
Beyond.
Last hit. Oh, he gets another last hit. Huge creep jack. Perfect opening. And a big lead for Fly already into this game.
Yeah, so nice. I suppose if your Blade can't do it, then your Peon can do it for you. The Priest Steal is also so nice from Fly just to create chaos. If there's no Priest there, Colorful can just comfortably creep that. And yes, the Blade gets there in time for the one small creep, but the Chaos created, he gets 3 last hits, and the experience is almost even, and Colorful gets a useless item, Talisman of Evasion. Fly in a great
Windwalks
position.
on time during the mana burn. Fly probably pretty dissatisfied with himself after map 1. He knows he kind of messed up there, but damn, what a showing here so far. I think he's going to lose the Shadow Priest in the end, but this one buys a lot of time. Blade Master keeps creeping. It's about to be level 2.
Yeah, I love this from Fly. He's got the salves as well, of course, so he can take the Ogre Warrior, get an item, and then he can go to the 12 o'clock and potentially even, maybe with one more item purchase, creep the Ogre Magi, and then he still has his own green available. Priest did go down. That gives level 2 to Colorful, but Colorful is giving up a lot of items to this Blade Master right now.
All right. Fun game to me. Very unusual, hyper-aggressive opening. Colorful got the Berserker. Would have been sick if Fly had stolen that with like a Peon Scout or something. That would have been true pain. And the tech difference is noticeable, but it's not as catastrophic as perhaps I thought it would be.
Yeah, and for Fly, like the fact that he fast-teched, he's only going to have... I don't know if he can afford 3 grunts and still be able to afford everything he needs on tier 2. I think he's going to have to stick with just 2 grunts, which delays the creeping of, I assume, the Torn Chieftain. And in the meantime, I love the split creeping from Colorful. He's going to get very close to level 3 and also purchase Claws, by the way. If this Demon Hunter can get level 3 before the second hero of Fly is out, it's going to be very, very difficult for Fly to be able to do much against that level 2 mana burn.
Looking towards the mid-game, by the way, Fly's attempt here should probably be an expansion, right? Tier 2 Expo. On Echo Isles especially, it's so far away from the opponent's main base. It seems almost impossible to prevent for the Night Elf. And I've seen some games before my fateful fall, where Night Elf seem to be in a good position, but then the Tier 2 Expo comes up and you buy time, and then you just outmass at some point.
Yeah, for sure. And also it's going to be Shadowhunter as well. Yeah, I mean, I tend to have a different philosophy against Talons than, of course, top-level Orc players, but most, especially Asian top-level Orcs, are doing Raider Walker Tier 2 expansion. Generally with even a Torn Chieftain, but Fly going to go for the Shadowhunter. Separate Wards, of course, aren't a bad choice at all, but the Shockwave tends to be better.
Berserker!
What the hell is that guy
Big mistake,
doing?
Colorful. Walking his Berserker into his demise. That was a valuable unit. Bye-bye.
Yeah, that's would have helped a ton for the pressure as well onto the potential Tier 2 buildings, but for now, the Beastmaster just going to have to ring around the rosy, at most Colorful trying to deny Fly from getting the consumable. By the way, triple circlet, that blade is going to be dangerous.
And you mentioned the Shadowhunter already. Not old school TC, but rather Shadow. Very strong right now for Hex control. But if we look towards the ultra late game, other Serpent Wards are going to be up to par.
Can be tough. I mean, of course, nice last hit. Potion of Vulnerability did go to Colorful, but the experience went to the Blade Master. Beastmaster might have to be past that town portal earlier rather than later. No, the crit is going to secure the kill. Still, Colorful might need to use that town portal. Quill Beast is working on the grunt. The Potion of Vulnerability used, so Fly. Blade is surrounded, actually.
Oh my god,
can he hold the door here?
I guess he feels like he cannot. Dude, Colorful is investing heavily into this mid-game, into trying to fall not too far behind creep-wise. Lost the hero, lost the item, lost the berserker. Shadowhunter still got a decent amount of experience.
Yeah, Shadowrunner's not going to be too sad about that little creep jack there. And to touch on your point of the Serpent Wards, I suppose the difficult thing for Colorful later on against them is Talons only do magic damage. They can't actually attack the Serpent Wards. But if you manage to get level 3 Beastmaster, then you can just use the Bloodlust of Quillbeast to just focus all the wards down. And if the Night Elf is on point with their controlling of the Serpent Wards, they don't allow you to get that pit of 5 snakes. Then they can be a little bit underwhelming, of course, with the mana burn on top as well. Whereas the Torn Chieftain, at least you have aura to fight if you don't have mana. So that's why I tend to prefer the Torn Chieftain, but in holding it a tier 2 expansion, if you can set up wards, it doesn't allow the Night Elf to actually pressure your expansion because it can be very defensive, so maybe that's what Fly's looking to do.
Yeah, when it comes to the fights purely, Serpent Wards, in theory, can be great against the Talons, of course, but one thing we have to keep in mind is they're a lot worse because of against Talons compared to Hunters, just because of execution. Because Hunters are always going to be running into the front line and automatically be tanking damage from the Serpent Wards, whereas here it's going to be the heroes in the front line and the Talons in the back. So you have to manually always, over and over, micro the Serpent Wards. And you might think, well, they're pro players, they can do it, but it's very hard. It's very hard to do all this perfectly.
Yeah, I do think I've been thinking about hotkeying my Serpent Wards, like having a 4th control group just to put my Serpent Wards in. But of course, they're always expiring. You have to constantly re-hotkey it. But I think that could potentially help against that problem. What can also help for Fly is this Pendant of Energy that they got, and a 4th Circlet, by the way, from the Creep Jack on the Murloc. Tinker is from the Tavern now. Demon Hunter almost level 3, but Fly buys a Potion of Vulnerability. And he seems to be ready to maybe not fully fight, but buy time for his tier 2 expansion that's coming up.
Players' forces are under attack.
One detonate doesn't seem to land on that much. That's a freebie Talon. Oh, or is it?
Oh.
Double dodge. All right, that cost 100 mana though, so this Talon not so valuable at the moment. But a confidence builder, also valuable.
He's just going to run at that expansion and cancel it. Fly is going to go for the counterattack, knowing that he probably wouldn't be able to catch up if he went to try to deny that cancel. So Colorful going to have to Town Portal, but well worth it for this cancel. If you can get the Peon, that's going to get him even closer to level 3 as well.
Chop outside the wall. Not ideal, but it's going to have to be sacrificed here. Fly. Does he really want to take a fight right here? Against the Moonwell, it's not going to be easy. Blade Master getting cycloned up in the air. We don't have Adept training yet, so no disenchant at the moment. Blade Master is spending his time up in the clouds. Oh, Invoke Potion popped now. Can't be cycloned at the moment. Going for the Demon Hunter, but he's got a ring. He's tanky. And again, Moon Juice is there to support.
Yeah, no wards. All the wards have been focused down by the heroes, and especially the Quillbeast in the back. Raider comes in, Cyclone of the Blade constantly. The Orb has done so much damage as well as the Spirit Link, of course, to this whole army. The Blade has no way out. The Shadowhunter has no way out. Fly has no way out. If there's a Cyclone, the Shadowhunter might be dead. One of these heroes is dying. There's Adept, though. Perfectly on time, but does he have mana on the walkers to keep this up? I don't think so.
And is this the 2-0 already is the question. Beastmaster might be going down. Indeed he will, but only level 1 hero. Not that painful. More Cyclones coming in. We have like 3 more maybe. Blade Master's stuck. Barely gets out. What about the Shadowhunter? He doesn't have Windwalk. One more Cyclone comes through. And that should be the end for the Shadowhunter and maybe for Fly in this tournament.
There's a Cyclone Surround. Serpent Ward goes down as well.
That was a weird timing.
Be back. Yeah.
Like, force the TP, kill the shop, fair enough. But you gotta get out. Like, he was fighting into the 50 supply Night Elf Cyclone timing without disenchant. Without disenchant. That was no bueno.
Can't help but think that it was maybe forgotten about. I feel like it should have already been done, even if you wait until the second walker to upgrade it. But yeah, he could have gotten out probably right away. He had mana on the blade to Windwalk away. The whole rest of the army could have speed scrolled. But now the expansion just going to be canceled yet again. There's going to be a tower up to help Fly try to at least fight here, but this expansion is definitely going down again.
We got plenty of Cyclones to use. What's the man on the walker saying? No good. Only 100, only one disenchant or one spirit link. Have to make a choice here. What's that? 2 talons dying? Cancel the tower, cancel the expo. Wonderful for Colorful. He can get the items now at the shop, creep up a bit more, and at this point maybe even expand himself.
Yeah, Talons, of course, very, very strong at creeping most camps. The bottom right can be crept no problem for Colorful. There's still remnants of the 12 o'clock as well. And Replenishment Potion, that's very, very nice. It's all about sustain on your heroes as the Night Elf. The Orc player is going to be looking for Potion of Vulnerability and going to be looking to focus, like we saw in the Beastmaster earlier. So if Colorful can keep his heroes happy and healthy, the Talons will do the rest. And he's going to, again, go for a cancel in the Great Hall. I don't think Fly can stop him. Maybe he can get a couple Talon kills, though.
A player's forces are under attack.
The second tower finishing would certainly help. Colorful might just ignore that one to go past it towards the Great Hall, but no, also going to take that one out. Now we have 2 walkers. We got a lot more mana. We got 4 disenchants here at the ready. Hex on the Demon Hunter, but there's going to be a Cyclone on the Blade right away. And the Talon positioning, you don't really have to be too careful. There's no shockwave you ever have to be concerned about.
Oh, mana burn on the walkers. That is so annoying to deal with. And Fly could at least Spirit Link before they get mana burnt again. Second tower being rebuilt. The Great Hall, importantly, has not been damaged yet, but all the Serpent Wards have been focused down. I think Demon Hunter Focus is the only play, but Potion of Vulnerability is there, and Fly doesn't have one for his Blade Master to get the damage in.
Committing again to the Town Hall. Demon Hunter, low HP, but the Blade Master always up in the air. He's not providing the damage. This may have to be a TP out again for Colorful, perhaps, considering the towers. But first he pops the speed scroll, heal scroll, I mean. That gives him a more staying power, a little bit more staying power in this. There's absolutely no dispel for Fly. This is always one of the saddest moments. You're just getting cycloned constantly and there's nothing you can do.
Oh, Shadow Hunter, he's pretty much fighting with a single tower right now. That's been most of his damage for the last 5 minutes. Because everything else is up in the air. Shadow Hunter almost level 4. If the shop got up, maybe he could get some more mana. But Colorful, is he actually backing away? That just shows how strong this Watchtower is against the Talons. And Demon Hunter's going to have to go back and heal.
What is this little fellow doing there?
Oh, look at him.
He's on a mission to do something.
Could scout the Tree of Life, I suppose. Could have even canceled the Tree of Life if we caught it early enough, but isn't going to do either. But speaking of canceling, Colorful is just running at this expo over and over again. And why wouldn't you?
This heal scroll is going to be marvelous. Get your Craigasms ready, boys. Huh? Hold on to your Craigasms, boys. Not yet.
A player's forces
Hold.
are under attack.
Oh, that poor Headhunter. Oh, doesn't actually go down. Okay, he lives to tell the tale of the right-hand side of Echo Isles.
Cannot be a good feeling if you die right away without having done a single point of damage. So hopefully that fate will not be his.
All right, Blade Master, speaking of doing no damage, needs a Potion of Vulnerability to really do much. Then you can Ensnare, you can Hex, you can force a Potion of Vulnerability, maybe even force the Town Portal. Even probably could have killed that Tinker if he had the potion here. But that tower is still carrying in the fight, and the health is running low on the heroes of Colorful.
Headhunter got out at least 3 attacks. I would say mission successful.
Yep.
Berserker also doing a good amount of damage. This is a lot of piercing damage, to be honest. With the second tower finishing, Colorful is starting to lose some stuff, but he's got the expo now.
Yeah, some Talons will fall. The Beastmaster dies. All right, Colorful may be overcommitting a little bit there. So it's going to be 2-base. And, you know, Orc in the late game, just in general against Night Elf, doesn't matter what the strategy the Night Elf's doing, their heroes can carry them. Level 3 Serpent Wards are ridiculously strong. Blade Master, of course, has always been strong. So if Fly can hold out to the super late game, to what, the 25-30 minute mark on 2-base, there's where he can have a chance, but not if he loses the Shadow Hunter again.
Is there some way to save him? Infil transfer, something maybe? Shop finishes, but not in time. Only a TP, I guess, would have gotten him out of there. That is a double level up. I think. 4 and 3. Super strong heroes now.
A player's forces are under attack.
And yeah, the Orc heroes can be very good and win you the game, but only if they are allowed to do something. If they're not up in the air, whereas the Night Elf heroes can always be relied on to be effective. And Colorful is just, he's tightening the noose, little by little.
Walker now almost gets caught out as well. Fly literally relying on 2 towers to hold for him.
A player's forces are under attack.
Moving towards the main base of Fly, which might be getting attacked next, as there are no towers. He at least has, of course, reinforced, so that's going to be protecting the burrows.
Alright, Fly going into full old Lamo mode. Got to push in a vulnerability in a town portal. Is going to try to force. Oh, there is no TP. Maybe can he get this tree? How many raiders does he have? 2 raiders, because Beastmaster, of course, is not here with the town portal. But Colorful can just buy one from the shop. He's got all the gold in the world. Yeah, he's got TP back. Almost a nice play from Fly there, but it's only going to buy him a little bit of time.
Oh, and he catches 2 units. Disenchant. A bit late, perhaps. Trying to go for the Tinker, but there's only 1 ensnare. That's not going to work out. Triple Cyclone. Disenchant again, but there's so much mana on these Talons. Behind this, by the way, we see double Chimroost coming up. And if there ever was a flashy way to finish a game, it's double Chimroost play.
Classic. Blade Master. Probably eventually he's going to have to town portal out regardless. He's just hoping to get some value. And of course, value can just be time sometimes for that Shadow Hunter to come back. Another 7 seconds. But in doing so, he lost a Walker and is going to lose a Raider. Didn't have to use the TP, at least, I suppose.
Beastmaster, Max Rockmane. Surprisingly, still only level 2. He has gotten the short end of the stick this series, but a worthy sacrifice if it leads to the victory in the end, which it's only looking like at the moment. Colorful 1400 gold. Chimroost is finished. I feel like in the super late game, Chimroost can sometimes look a little bit underwhelming, honestly, because you don't have any upgrades for them. But considering what he's up against, it should still certainly work out well enough.
Yeah, that could be very good, of course, against the towers with the Corrosive Breath, because they can outrange them, they can break the main base. I mean, Fly is hitting about as strong of a timing as you possibly could, considering there's going to be, you know, 8 chims in his face soon enough. He's going to see the double roost. There's not a single chim out. The supply is even, and he has a TP. He has a push of vulnerability. He can set up a snake pit. Does Fly have some small shot? No, he's just going to back away, not thinking he can win a fight here.
A player's forces are under attack.
Second
Tinker.
barracks, going tier 3.
What are you doing down there, buddy? What the hell?
Can he get there with a staff to save him? How many ensnares does he have? Quite a few. I think that's the last ensnare. He's spamming the staff. He's spamming the staff, and he gets it. Critical save.
And that's the potion gone. Potion vulnerability. That's 2 walkers
Oh,
about
Fly.
to go down.
Where you going?
Oh, no.
That was
hurts.
tumbly bumbly, as you like to say.
Yes. Thank you. A lot of gold for both players. And Fly now knows about the Chimera Roosts. So is he going to react in some way other than you'd expect, or just Headhunters? Because there are 3 chims out. The lumber is kind of rough, though. Colorful's building wisps, whereas Fly doesn't necessarily have that problem currently.
If Fly can survive for like 3 more minutes, let's say 4 more minutes, and get out a
say
bunch of
5.
Berserkers, like Berserkers could work out very well here.
Yeah, absolutely. And chims would just be null supply. Maybe not completely, but if there is... Yeah, there's going to be 4 or 5 Berserkers out soon enough. Tier 3 is almost done. And Orb as well, importantly.
Yeah.
I mean, if you have 4 chims, that's a lot of wasted supply. Fly might be trying him out to come back, because he might be able to force a town portal here as well.
Is Colorful going to take the traded TP? Or, wait, there's no TP on Fly, actually.
Yeah, I was wondering about that, too.
And Colorful is not TPing.
He's got 2
Now
chims, though.
Now it's too late for the TP. He's committing fully to the main. Alrighty. I think that's the right call. Don't
Yeah.
give him more time for Berserkers and more upgrades and stuff.
Okay, Fly. What you see is what you get. He is now supply block. Didn't manage to get the Kodo out, but Berserker form is going to finish. He's going to be able to buy a TP. Can Fly win this fight? Berserker's going to pop in about 2 seconds, and here comes the TP.
We have 3 walkers with decent mana, but we have a million talents seemingly with endless mana. The mana advantage seems to be on the Night Elf side. Chim's coming in again from the back. It's a bit of a flank, but you can see how quickly they go down. They have no upgrades. The Berserkers do good DPS. What about the heroes? Tinker getting targeted at the moment. He's dropping low. There's Staff. Should be available. Cyclone being spammed, kind of. And the walkers, they're all dead. No more Dispel.
And the Demon Hunter can clean up all these Berserkers. There's a reason why we never see Headhunters or Berserkers against Talons, and it's because the Demon Hunter just destroys them. The Blade Master, I feel like, hasn't got barely a single attack in the whole fight.
123
down to
crit,
37.
level 2. That's sad. And
no.
let's Fly,
It was a nice
having to
attempt,
say
though.
goodbye. Played a good game
Yeah,
against
he did.
Lucy earlier, but here against Night Elf, not quite sharp enough. You can't make those mistakes. You can't fall behind. You have to be on the ball in this matchup specifically as Orc.
TP might be forced. The Beastmaster dies. I think he actually purposely lost that there, knowing that he could close it out. But again, will Colorful overcommit? Doesn't seem like. The blade's getting low. Speed scroll, potion vulnerability. Force. Blade Master. Can he buy a potion? Let's get one. This is getting kind of dumb, Remo Demo, but a lot of talents are dying.
That's a lot of piercing damage. That's a lot of piercing damage. Wait a minute.
Oh,
No
no, 55
way.
against... All right. Colorful definitely overcommitted there. I think he purposefully sacked the Beastmaster, of course, thinking he could just end the game, but... All right, main bases are pretty much dry. Were the burrows rebuilt in the meantime? I guess it doesn't matter because he lost so many units. All right,
And he
Fly.
has no Nature's Blessing. Oh, that's gonna be a long walk.
Dude.
Oh,
what
yeah, because the expansion died. I completely forgot the expansion died. Wait a second. Hold on a minute here. All
Demon
right,
Hunter, though, is still stupidly strong.
Yeah.
Beastmaster also started the reviving process very late. Colorful not playing this perfectly either. But Fly, he lost a lot right here. I still see Colorful favored, I would say.
Yeah, the Shadowhunter is the big carry. The circlets have all been passed over. Fly just had accepted that the blade was never going to get anything done. Just there to eat up cyclones. Could get an orb on the blade, and then he would be nice later on. But of course, if he's in the air, it doesn't matter. And Colorful going with... Okay, he's got 5 chims. He's just going to main him.
This is a lot of infrastructure that I think Fly can afford to lose. This is perhaps not that relevant.
Yeah, true. Rebuilding the barracks, or the bestiary rather, before the tech goes down. I
Oh,
think
that
that's
could be-
wise.
This is gonna be a base race, isn't it? Oh, he finds the Tree of Eternity. That one's gone. Okay. He brought a lot of wisps though. Colorful needs to sell some items so he can make some buildings.
I don't think Fly would ever be able to win a base race, actually, though. I think he has to defend. So many wisps, though. He's just going to detonate just 15 wisps on that Shadowhunter, and then the carry that once was will be no longer.
Those towers which were so strong earlier on now see their brutal counter. Chims, I'm perhaps not the biggest fan, but against these buildings they were wonderful, and there perhaps they had their value. And in come the wisps. We see mirror image as well for the first time. Detonating on the blade, not on the shadow. It is level 3 serpent wards now.
Pretty strong. Mass detonate. Shadow still has a decent amount of mana. If he can get a few wards down before he's got no mana left, this is will
my
be a
God.
godsend. These masters
Does he get the
finally
mana burn
back.
off? Oh, huge mana burn. Okay. It's all down to the Demon Hunter though. To win this.
Pocket Factory, actually kind of the strongest
crit.
thing here. Blade Master has a potion of healing, does use it. The heroes are getting low. Fly's still
What?
mining.
No,
no.
way.
There's no way, man.
Oh
The
my
ship goes
God.
down. This is getting so dumb. Colorful obviously still with chances here, but the heroes are getting low. The Shadowhunter's out of mana, but Fly, importantly, is mining the crit again! Okay, Staff's about to the altar now. The Quill Beast will go down. Where's our shop? It's being rebuilt. Is there still a fortress? It's still a fortress. He didn't kill it earlier.
Oh my
Oh,
god,
no
what
way.
is this game? Colorful's
I
Giga
think-
broke.
The throw of a century, I think, is what this game was, Remo Demo Man. He's got no moon mana either. All the heroes are low. I
my
think
God, it
Fly
really
just
is.
wins.
Yeah, I think so too. He's got so much gold. He can just remake. He can just rebuild. Oh my god, what a gift!
Yeah, you know, well, Colorful's fundamentals were pretty strong this game. I think he's just got to work on macro, micro timings, build orders, creep routes.
How
the
did he
shop's
lose
up.
this game?
Don't
The
forget
shop's up.
decision making.
Decision making, yeah, I think that's the most important point of
Honestly,
all.
like I feel like Chims have like an 80% throw rate.
Yeah, man.
Whenever I see them play, they always lose. Perhaps it's just better to play like mass fairies and more talents. I don't know.
Or even just put down 100. Like, he had enough gold to put down 100 Sol. Like, imagine 3 Mountain Giants, of which it sounds ridiculous, but he had the economy. He had the game. And now Fly just has to AFK here. He might not know that Colorful can't afford another tree, but he does know that Colorful just detonated 15 wisps in his face. So he just sit here, just spam clarities, spam snakes. What are you supposed to do? I don't think anything.
Yeah. I think the Shadowhunter is too good. Like, even the Hex is crazy good, as there is no Dispel.
Level 6 Demon, maybe? I mean, it's a possibility, especially if he continuously kills wards. They do give a decent chunk of experience, but it's a stretch.
Fly must have this. He must have this. So many Berserkers as well. This is
Town is under
serious damage.
Dude, the Tinker's almost level 5. It does so much damage. The Pocket Factory is ridiculously good against the Berserkers, of course, if it's allowed to stay alive. Fly, is it a mistake to engage this far out?
Oh, one mana burn comes in. These mana burns are crucial. Another one against the blade. He's got the Invo Potion. Okay, the Chim is gone. Dispelled his own Hex. That was a bit of a mistake. Mana burn against the Shadow is needed. Pulls him back. No burn there. Against the Walker instead. But Colorful's dropping low. He doesn't have enough sustain here.
Yep. Nothing to soak up the damage, and the damage is flying in from these Berserkers. All the heroes are getting low.
Oh
Beastmaster there levels up, but Fly seems to be making it work, even as a heal scroll left over. And Windwalk now,
Got him.
Beastmaster will fall level 6, and GG! Possibly the dumbest game we're going to see in this whole tournament, and I love it.
Oh man, this was so good. From the very beginning, where Fly stole 3 creeps with the Peon and the Shadow Priest, to an absolute throw from Fly as he's engaging into the worst timing possible, to a super sick hold, and a comeback, and now we got a tied up series, and it's all about this one upcoming map. I love W3Champions finals already.
Super crazy. Super crazy. Dude, there were so many ways that he could have guaranteed that win. Like, also, why would you attack into the main base? Just attack the south, attack the expo, with which you're going to keep your own expansion safe. You can kill the towers easily with the Chims. Ooh. Colorful must not be satisfied with himself about that game.
Yeah. And at least if you are going to attack into the main base, like, at least kill the fortress or something. He allowed potions to be purchased. He allowed a bestiary to be rebuilt, which wasn't the end of the world. But at least just clean up the whole main base, fully supply block him, and then you know, all in. And even at that point, you might even be able to just attack buildings and win the game with the amount of chimps he has.
And when he lost the expo, why didn't you just babysit his Tree of Eternity? Like, after that, you could have just babysat that one, get the expansion mining again. He had... Oh, that was a rough one.
Yeah.
It's super cool to see Fly fighting for so long. Like, this shows me that he cares. He wants to advance. Like, he was so down and out at certain stages of this game.
Yeah, I would have GG'd a million times. Like 5 chims, it was literally like 36 supply against 70 or something.
Yep.
And the 70 supply included 5 chims.
Yep.
And a level 5 demon hunter. Like, no way would I have stayed in that game. But Fly is one of the best for a reason.
Yeah, 100%. One.
All right. Concealed Hill, game number 3. This will probably have to be much more standard. Probably the most standard of the 3 maps we've seen. This is kind of almost the most common map, I'd have to say, for this matchup. We so often see super late game, 2-base, 2-base. Ends up being late macro games. There's plenty of creeps, and there's plenty to contest in the super late game. Normally that middle expansion, that high ground expansion. So would expect to see another banger here on Concealed Hill.
Yeah, this map also seems normally quite even to me, with the possibility for the Night Elf to get ahead early. That's of course always a given, if the orb missteps, if you will. If you lose a grunt, if there's an AP coming up, or if the keeper gets level 3 really early on, that's all ways to easily fall behind. But especially speaking of AP, I feel like nobody's doing that at all anymore. I haven't seen it in a very, very long time. So the big question here will be, can the keeper get level 3? And since there's so many green camps on the map that the keeper can choose to go to during nighttime, possibly with telestaff, it's very hard for the orc here to keep track and prevent that level 3. Nowadays, I feel like it's almost only Lin who can manage to do that reliably.
Yeah, and we'll see if Fly decides to creep heavily or go aggro after like a single item. We've seen people just go for the item from the ogre of the orange camp. We've seen people do the entire shop. We've seen people even creep level 3 in the past as the orc player in this situation. So we'll see which of those 3 Fly decides to do, just based on the shop positioning. Oh no, he's actually going to the full shop. Now this is counterable. It's scouted. If Colorful runs immediately straight up after grabbing the item, he can actually stop Fly from doing this. But for some reason, nobody ever does it.
Yeah, I saw somebody, maybe it was Colorful,
Moon.
just having one archer there. Just a single archer to mess with
yeah.
that. But Colorful takes the first camp, and indeed, Fly... Oh! Oh! He messed
Wow.
up the creep. If you creep it perfectly in the right position, the inner fire is prevented. But he messed it up. There's inner fire, and that makes this a very subpar opening.
I didn't actually see how he screwed that up. But somehow, it's actually, that's very easy. It's more easy to mess up the bottom shop trick. But for that top shop, all you have to do is right-click on the shop itself, then right-click on the priest, after shift-click on the priest, and it guarantees it to not heal or bloodlust or anything like that. But he does screw it up. And he's going to not screw this one up, at least, though. He's going to go for the next shop.
Keeper's items, by the way, are phenomenal. He's going to find the grunt, and that's a dead grunt. If he gets the last hit here. Oh, entangle on the blade. This is so huge. Fly really needs his last hit. Another
Being
creeps.
healed.
Okay. Does get it. Goes for the big play. Goes for the Blade Master, but there's no way he's going to get him.
He bought dust.
Dispel! The creep dispelled the speed scroll. No way. Oh,
Outer
Outer
ring
gets away.
Mistake. He could have definitely landed that entangle. He went one auto attack into the entangle, but now he lets Fly get away. I guess regardless, Fly would have made it to the fountain, though, right? Even with the dust, even with 2 entangles. Yeah, maybe greedy to not just take that grunt like you mentioned.
Yeah. Sometimes you have to just rely on your intuition. He feels he can get the kill. If he gets it, it's a W right there. I would have gone for the guaranteed damage, but, well, it is what it is. The fantastic drops continue. He found a tome +2. This keeper is hella scary, especially if you get that level 3.
Yeah, for sure. Maybe that's why he felt he could go for the blade, because he has that +8 currently. Okay, Blade gonna now go for that Ogre Magi. Consumables are always super nice in this matchup for the Orc player. If you get illusions, if you get wards, scouting information is what you need for both players, in fact. But Night Elf doesn't tend to have many issues with the scouting side of things. Blade gonna get level 2, Replenishment Potion. Peon actually scouts Colorful going for his turtle, and I don't think the Blade can deny at least the big boy.
The Slippers here for the first time, not the perfect drop, but it's valuable experience for the Keeper. Big Master should have no issue getting this last hit. That's important. Every little step towards level 3 here does matter. Night Elf units now finally congregating. We got 2 hunts out and an archer. 3rd hunter's on the way. What we don't see yet is an expansion. I think this is gonna put Fly's mind at ease because he's arrived on tier 2 already.
Yeah, I wonder what Colorful's play is here. We've seen from Moon and Remind, we've seen Pure Huntress, straight tier 3 tech. We've seen players also play Mass Archer, straight tier 3 with Tri-Hero, Double Orb, but now we have a Wisp. Just as we mentioned, alternative strategies go towards the expansion of Colorful, so we'll see. If he does build it right now, Fly will scout it right away, and then he could always purchase a staff to cancel, but still, Colorful is being patient with this second base.
Thank you very much, Marco9111. 20 euro donation. That's amazing, man. Thank you so very much. Why didn't he start the expansion, by the way? When he forced the Blade Master away from his shop, it was a guarantee this expansion would finish. The grunt was low, the blade was low, there was no mana, he was level 1. Would have been a guaranteed expo. This might be a big strategic error by Colorful.
Does get a grunt at least, and now staffs away. Now he builds the tree, sees the blade there. So again, like you mentioned, he had the free expansion before. Again, this was a situation where the expansion is probably not cancelable, but again, he could have already had it up though, long ago. You're absolutely right.
And I think Fly just scouted the expansion a moment ago. I mean, he didn't see this tree, but a few seconds ago he saw that there was nothing there, so he knows he has plenty of time. Ogre Lord, Trap, does it work out? Oh, just barely, but the Keeper. Dude, the reads on Colorful are on point. And the surround wasn't quite.
Is he just
goes for the
that?
Alchemist at the tavern. The Shadow Hunter in trouble. Speed Scroll popped, trying to save himself. There's one
surround!
purge. Oh!
Oh no.
But the sheep.
So close.
The sheep foils the highlight play. Out of Warcraft not going to be making this one into a reality. Oh my goodness.
Shaman almost got the kill. That would have been the most famous Shaman of all time if he killed that Keeper there. 10 to 11 damage. Almost did it.
And this was a heavy investment from Colorful in terms of Moonwells. There's absolutely no juice left with daytime just beginning. Honestly, Colorful, if he engages here and he doesn't have big success, he's going to be completely impotent for this whole daytime.
Great success. He's going to kill the wards. The Keeper comes in, but yeah, the Purge, aggressive Purge, and that Wind Rider as well, by the way, is so nice when the Night Elf is playing aggressive and you have this early piercing damage and the piercing damage that cannot be entangled. So strong, but the Keeper. So much mana. Just going to continue, again, just like game 1, just running at Fly over and over again.
The Fly heals up a bit. He's going to continue to creep. Going to get his level 2 Shadow here. And I would love to see a counter expo. He's absolutely not behind economically because of the super late Tree of Life only now coming up. Keeper trying his best with Entangle, but there is one more Purge. 2 more Purges, more or less. So Fly is safe. Now finally has the heal wave. And the Alchemist has some work to do.
Okay, Peons at the expansion. Pennant of Energy, yet again for Fly. Got one last game. Yeah, he did get one last game, if I'm remembering correct. No, he had a bunch of circlets. That's what it was. That's why he had so much mana. But Pennant's still very, very strong. The perfect item for Fly. The Alchemist could find one himself. Going to be able to get the entire expansion creep for level 2. And the tree, importantly, for Colorful, will be mining in about a minute or a minute and a half. But the Moonwells, you mentioned them, completely empty and a long time to go until night.
That's what they call bone dry. As I was informed by my doctor, though, when I broke my leg, is that bones are actually very well supplied with blood in the body. That is, as long as they are in the body. Once they're outside the body, there's no blood anymore, Carson. Just so you know. Yeah.
So Bone Dry not as accurate as I might hope it is. So,
Yeah. I mean, skeletons, you know, when there's no vascular support system network around them
True.
anymore, then I guess it is accurate, but right now, inside your body, the bones are supplied with blood. Blood. Keeper, trying to cancel the expansion, he's got the tele staff. Fly, he's just gonna let this happen. He's not covering this option. Oh, or is he? Wait a minute. Shaman, 1 purge, 2 purge. I think
but
that's
that
still a
Keeper has
cancel.
so much extra damage, though. There's no way. And the Shaman's gonna die, too. Oh, no. This is rough. He can even kill that tower afterwards, too. Fly desperately wants that Ogre Lord that he couldn't get earlier, but in doing so, strategically throwing a little bit.
Oh, that's a 2-minute delay. That is huge. That is huge for Colorful. That's the way back into the game. If this expansion finishes, he's really far behind in this match.
Dude,
And I
he's
feel like too
still
many
pulling
orcs
this
make
Ogre
this
Lord. He's
mistake.
screwed it up so many times. He's been pulling this for like a minute right now.
There's a corpse here as well. Did he lose a shaman? Something
So I think that is a Shaman corpse, yeah. Oh, Fly.
Let's go lose the tower. Oh no. Fly. My bay. What's going on? Helm of Valor is very good though. That is excellent on
Yeah.
Blade. And Agitome. Hell yeah.
Yeah, heroes can carry, and this tends to be the map where they do because plenty of experience, and it always goes late game, so the supply is pretty much even. Fly could certainly win this fight right now if Colorful overextends. I would even say easily.
He's got the 1-1-1 build. Blade Master shows himself double. Alchemist wonders what was in that concoction. Maybe not the right brew for the day. Big item here to be picked up. This consumable can easily swing a fight, especially if it's a big mana potion. Fly. It was very painful to lose the expansion, but the heroes are damn strong. Shadowhunter level 4, always a huge level up right around the corner.
Money, acid bombs for that damage over time. Consumable here. Greater mana could make or break this fight for either player. Kodo comes in just perfectly on time. Blade gets a Wand of Mana Stealing. That's nice as well. And Fly, at any point, if he starts to take too much damage, can back away to the fountain that was already prepped. So ideally, he could not lose a single unit here and just send them all to the fountain. But for now, there's plenty of archers from that 2-base economy. Colorful is pulling ahead supply-wise.
Purge is coming in. Archer's exposed. Same for the Alchemist. He must not fall. TP transferred. Mass Lightning Shield trying to kill him off.
A player's forces are
No,
under attack.
he shall survive.
Yeah, the Moonwells are not looking too bad any longer, but they're not going to be able to heal up all the Huntresses. Maybe the Alchemist could make up for that. Fly got to back away. There is an AP at the expansion. That's weird, but we'll at least be able to cancel maybe this Watchtower. And Fly needs Shadowhunter mana before he can think about fighting again.
We saw there how Fly is, especially thanks to the heroes that he has on good levels. But the lumber economy is starting to worry me. Only 1 armor upgrade so far on the grunts. You really want the second one, and ideally also some attack upgrades. There's only 3 lumber peons in the main base, and 2 of them are far away from the war mill. I wonder if Neo is rolling his eyes right now, thinking, "Goddamn Remo," and talking about where the peons are mining. But you know, it is something that can really add up over time.
Player's forces are
And
under
another thing is, Fly is going to have to actually probably break upkeep with peons once that expansion gets up. What does he have? Okay, he's got 2 peons at the expo. There's no way he transfers all 3 of them from the main. So he's going to have to, I think there's no way around it. He's got to break upkeep, or he's got to get a shredder and still break upkeep with that shredder. But the lumber, I think, is something we definitely shouldn't overlook at all.
Colorful 70 supply, 1-1 upgrades. Are more finishing? No. So the upgrades aren't that grand. Only 1-1 for Colorful. This is probably the best chance for Colorful this whole game to win this map, win the series, and move on through the play-ins. Fly, that's going to be a tough hold for him, but if he holds, his position's probably going to be favored.
Plenty of Serpent Words here. The Blade can carry with Lightning Shield with Mirror Image. He's got crit level 2. He just needs to get back in the back. He needs to get Lightning Shield on him. The tower is working, and the tower, although it's not reinforced, can do a ton of damage to the Huntresses. Pretty good positioning for Fly.
They master in the back, caught with the Entangle, not taking that much damage though, and the Mass Serpent Ward damage in the front line, holding the position for the Orc. Blade Master now getting targeted heavily, still has the heal scroll to support him and a heal wave, and also still the Immo Potion. The panic button, which always will save him. It was 70 supply for Colorful, but it didn't look that scary.
Oh
Now
God.
did it. Somehow, Fly holds. And he might be the one to move through the play-ins. Blade Master, not now. Fly, it is not the time for your signature move.
A super sick fight from Fly. He can always transfer that one mass thing over. Getting away with a few grunts. Might lose 3. No, just loses 1, actually. The shop is now up as well at the expansion. And the supply is even. Colorful out of mana pretty much on his Alchemist. Only 1 heal spray left over. And yeah, I feel like he could have executed that fight a bit better. Focused down the wards right away, then focused down that tower. But Fly just, again, wins in the micro department. And I don't know if Colorful can break this expo. He might have to back off and fight another day.
In this matchup, when you have a level 4 Shadow Hunter next to a shop, it is worth so much in terms of power level. Kodo comes in, gets over Devour, Blade Master tanking the damage from the archers. This doesn't seem to be quite perfect. The grunts are just left to their own devices. Of course, you want to control the blade if you can. In fact, he is dropping low. But there's no mana on Colorful anymore. There's no more wheels on this... I was about to say train. Do they have wheels? They don't have rubber, but they do have wheels, I guess. The wheels have fallen off this train is what I want to say in this push. Because Colorful, yeah, he's totally running out of steam. The steam engine is huffing and puffing, and nothing's happening.
And now at a position that Raider is worth so much. The Blade Master about to be level 5. The Shadow Hunter, I imagine, yep, is also about to be level 5. Once both these hero levels pop, wouldn't be surprised to see Colorful leave the game, or if maybe both his heroes die, he could leave the game too. Well played to Fly. 2-1. I mean, Colorful's really got to be angry about that second map for sure. He had it in the bag.
What a great run by Fly, though. First 2-0ing Lucy, then really not the greatest early game in the very beginning, and also the first map entirely fell apart, and he was almost eliminated on map 2, and he was almost eliminated on map 3 as well. Keeps on fighting, though. Fly in the round of 8 as the second orc next to Focus. We could get a Happy versus Fly game. You guys hyped for something like that?
Ooh, yes please, yes please.
Yes please, indeed. It's so cool to have Fly in this tournament. He's just very special. He might not have the excellence of a Lin, but damn, this guy can fight. And that's what makes him so great, and that's exactly what we've seen today. Love to have myself a little Fly, and also love to have community members like Imperatrices, I think, butchering Imperatrices Issy, $100 donation, 1,341. That is awesome.
Imperatrices, is that it? Imperatrices?
Imperatrices Issy, yes.
Oh, I have ... after that. I see. Okay, yeah. Hell yeah. 100 buckers.
Lovely. Absolutely lovely. God damn, those were 2 fun series. And with that, we're halfway through the one-on-one day here at the W3Champions Season 11 Finals Play-ins Day 1. Fly is through with that Lucy and Colorful eliminated. That's unfortunate because Colorful wanted to give all proceeds to the W3Champions team. It is what it is.
That's what you get. That's what you get. Being selfless.
Our next match, once again, has a Chinese player, and he's the hottest player at the moment since Wobi Cup started. 15 Sway is tearing through the competition, first eliminating no other than Happy, and since then on a 4-day win streak in Wobi Cup. That is a very different format. Can he bring his A game with just 1 race here as well? And in what shape is Spiral? He had a solid grind in the latter season. Can he bring it to the table here? We'll set it up, we'll do the map picks and bans, and then we start our second round of 16 here at the W3Champions Finals, which is of course the celebration of the server that is W3Champions, a voluntary project of basically people who do this for fun and for no money, and they introduced everything we ever wanted and are so progressive that they even introduced things that we didn't knew we wanted, like the creep kill indicator, for example. Great matchmaking for 1-on-1, 2-on-2, 4-on-4, FFA, and also custom games. Like, for example, Legion TD. We introduced random heroes not too long ago. It's a great community. There's always at least 1,000 people on, and of course on the Discord there's also more. So for feedback and just to be part of the community, join the Discord. We have a big feature that Blizzard just put on their PTR 20 years after inventing this game. W3Champions has this forever, and that is Zoom. Just set your own Zoom and see a lot more, or see the beautiful models of W3 a little closer. We also have servers all across the world, 26 servers. Little comparison, Battle.net has exactly 2. So that's a lot more servers here in US West, in US East, in Europe, in Africa, in the Middle East, in Asia, in Oceania. It doesn't matter where you're playing from, you will get good conditions. And if your Wi-Fi is a little slow or your cat is chewing at the LAN cable, we got a reconnect feature for you as well. And if you don't feel like playing yourself, well, they got that part covered as well, because you can watch all the games of all the players, whether it be ladder or custom games, via Flow TV. And as you can see, the end of season tournaments are by now a staple of the community. Every 3.5 months, that's what we get. If you want to improve the team, say hello. As I said, join the Discord. Say hello to especially Sefit. Always looking for more people contributing to the team, whether you want to be a moderator, report, reviewer, or if you want to code yourself as well. We need coders for JavaScript, C#, .NET, jQuery, Rust, TypeScript, and Node. And also, if you can't code, maybe you can do some community work. Maybe you can do some social media. Maybe you want to write some news or keep the launcher up to date. There's always work for you out there. If you have some spare time to your hands, go reach out and make this project even better. You have anything to add, guys?
I was just applauding for you. I was applauding for you. I didn't know if you're on your solo scene or not, but yeah. If you haven't downloaded it, download it. If you want to contribute to this prize pool or directly to them. Check out the Patreon, all that good stuff. Support the people that support the community, that keep it alive, because this game would not be alive without them. So, at least download the thing. I mean, if you're playing on BNet still, what are you doing? Download the client, bare minimum.
Right on. Mr. Remo Demo has some admin work to do. We give him a little break, and then it's time for 15 Sway versus Spiral. China versus Germany. Interesting situation. Only possible due to W3Champions and the amazing server network. See you after a little break.